you're looking at potentially up to 10 years in the prison.
Ronnie Simons Jr. appeared before the court during a probation revocation hearing after previously pleading true to multiple probation violations. While the state and probation recommended inpatient treatment, the defense asked the court to consider a different treatment option that would allow Simons to keep his employment. As the hearing unfolded, Judge Stephanie Boyd weighed rehabilitation against accountability before deciding how the case would move forward.
All right, you have the information on employment?
Kinda.
All right.
I called where he was working is a place called Certified Apartment Staffing. They have an office out on 410, not far from the airport. I spoke with a lady out there named Carly after we got out of court the other day. She basically confirmed that he was employed there. She was going to hook me up with another girl named Christina, who I also spoke with. They were going to email me some information. It could be start dates, finish dates, whatever information they could send me. I have not received that as of this morning. I talked to them yesterday, said they would get it to me, and I emailed and texted this morning. I still don't have it. So if it's important to the court, I would propose, we've already pled 4
Yes.
violations. Can we recall it Wednesday or Thursday next week?
I'm not going to be here.
It have to be the week after.
I'd be good with the week after.
Sure. Unless, I don't know, state the information he has. Is that enough for you, or you want?
Well, it's enough for me. Yeah, we're just determining, I guess, what Your Honor feels is better. State's recommendation was SafeP, and I believe he's wanting SATIF, right?
Yeah, we were the other day, we're asking about SATIF. The waiting list for SATIF is way shorter. I personally believe it's a better program.
Okay.
About the same amount of time. And so that's I don't know what the court's mind was about getting the verification of it, just to verify he was employed.
All right. Okay. We're going to go on the record in 2023 CR 0791 State versus Ronnie Simons Jr. Can I have parties announced?
Rick Vania for the state of Texas.
John Robertson from the Diamonds.
All right. You're Mr. Simons. All right. So defense, your client had all previously pled true to violations 2, 2, 4, and 4. The court found 2, 2, 4, and 4 true. The state's recommendation and probation's recommendation is for inpatient treatment.
Yes.
Probation in the state is asking for SafeP. You're asking for SATIF. The reason why, and they tell me as a judge, you should never let people into your brain to see your thought processes. But I don't pay attention to that because I think people need to know that I've heard what parties have said, right? So the reason why I wanted to know about his employment, because honestly, I don't know if he should be in SATIF or SafeP. Maybe this is a situation, I don't want him to lose his employment. Maybe this is a situation where I send him off into the world, and if he tests positive, another motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand? Probation, do we have an updated tap on Mr. Simons?
I want to say you did, but
Well, if I may, Your Honor.
Yes.
Court summary says the last tap was completed a week ago while he was in jail, and they recommended ISF2 followed by aftercare with the ISP unit. But despite that, probation's recommendation was still SafeP followed by SafeP aftercare.
All right. So here's my question. Has he ever had intensive outpatient treatment or no?
He has not, Your Honor. However, it was never made part of his terms. No.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. You can lower your hand. Make sure you speak up so that I can hear and the court reporter can hear. Can you state your name for the record? All right. This is what I'm going to tell you. You know yourself. If you're honest with yourself and really look in the mirror, not looking at what you want, right? But what is best for you. You know yourself better than the state, better than your attorney, better than probation. Now, what I'm being told by your counsel, and he's the officer of the court, he called. It appears that you have been employed. I don't know if at your employment they do drug testing or not, but it appears that you were working. And maybe you were afraid, which I don't understand why people are afraid of me. Just come in and tell me, and I'm going to make a decision based upon what I hear. You know yourself best. So you have to ask yourself, one, can I survive in this world, not violating my conditions of using if I am given intensive outpatient treatment? Thank you. That's my question for you. Are you able to do it? I know when people are released from the jail, they're just so happy they're not going to prison. They're like, I'm going to follow through on everything that's given to me. I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to use. And then 2 weeks later, they're back to using. So that's my question to you.
But
Positive what?
then I'm gonna say I'm not gonna use.
All right. So your employment, what exactly do you do?
I get sent to different apartment complexes and start the grounds mornings to do work orders, make readies on apartments.
Well, no, I mean, are you working outside in the heat? All right.
Basically, that's it, just on site work is, and it's a, you know, if I get a permanent job, if somebody wants to hire on, they'll go through the staffing with the process, you know.
All right. Probation. How much is the patch?
The drug patch is $50 every 2 weeks.
All right. There's nothing I can do about that. So here are your two choices. And state if you're in disagreement with the choices I'm going to give them, please let me know. And if you're in disagreement, let me know. Probation, you're in disagreement, let me know. The patch is $50 every 2 weeks. What the patch is, it's a patch. They put it on you. You are not allowed to remove it. It shouldn't come off if you're showered. Now, there have been some people who worked in constructions, and there have been some issues with the patch because of the temperature here in San Antonio and the humidity. That's why I was asking you if you work outside. You can either do the patch and it will be for 90 days, or either you can do the UA hotline for 90 days. And with the UA hotline, they're going to call you. You're going to get tested. You're never going to know when you're going to get tested. And if you test positive, then I'm going to follow the recommendations that probation is set forth for the court. And that will be inpatient treatment, maybe with SAP, or it may be revocation, prison. It just really depends. So thoughts?
As long as probation is fine with it, I'm fine.
Because my main thing is I don't want him to lose his employment if he's finally, I know it's hard for people to get employment when they are felons or not felons, even when they're on deferred adjudication.
Well,
Yes.
my concern though is regarding the two number 4 violations. He's living with the people that are on the no contact order.
Oh, well, that's going to change. You can't live with them. And we can put him on GPS.
I would ask for GPS, yes, until indefinite, until your honor says
So
differently.
here are your choices. Number one, you cannot live with people on the no contact order. Not allowed. That's what the no contact order is for. If they want the no contact order lifted, they need to come in and have a conversation with me because I need to make sure that people feel safe. And the state needs to make sure that people feel safe because if something happens, they're going to ask me why I lifted a no contact order. You understand? So you're not allowed to be with them. So you can either do one or two things. One, I'm going to place you on GPS. It'll be GPS. We're going to start with GPS partial for employment. And then once he's proven he's able to do certain things, then ultimately it'll be tracking, then ultimately it will be removal. But you're not allowed to reside at that household or have contact with the people who are on the non-contact list. Do you understand? Or if you want, you won't have to do the patch. You won't have to do the UA hotline. You go into custody and you wait for transfer to SATF. And is it the patch or the UA hotline? All right. So probation, this is what the court is going to do. Court will deny the motion. Alter and amend to include the patch for 90 days. Partial GPS for employment only. That will be for 90 days. Then after that 90 days, if there are no issues, we'll look at tracking only and then ultimately removal. And there's to be intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And you need to provide probation with your residence address within, how long is it going to take? Do you have some place that you can stay? I'm sorry, what?
I let my apartment go, so.
So who are you going to be living with?
To call.
But you do have family members or somebody who will let you stay with them?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation. He's going to provide you with his residence address within 72 hours of release. All right. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, if you don't remember your conditions, you need to speak to your probation officer and have them go over those conditions again. If you violate this probation, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed. You'll be taken into custody. Either you'll make bond or you won't make bond. Either you'll be continued or you'll be revoked if probation is able to prove up those conditions. And with your case, you're looking at potentially up to 10 years in the prison. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Ronnie
Thank you.
Simons
Thank you.
Jr. appeared before the court after previously admitting to multiple probation violations. During the hearing, both the state and probation recommended inpatient treatment, while the defense asked the court to consider an alternative that would allow Simons to continue working and maintain his employment. Rather than immediately following one recommendation, Judge Stephanie Boyd carefully considered the circumstances presented during the hearing. The court reviewed Simons' recent employment, discussed the treatment recommendations, and questioned whether he could successfully remain compliant while participating in intensive outpatient treatment instead of entering an inpatient program. The judge also addressed the existing no-contact order, making it clear that Simons could not continue living with anyone protected by that order. Additional concerns about supervision, accountability, and future compliance were discussed before the court announced its decision. After considering the recommendations from both sides, the court denied the requested modification and instead ordered 90 days of monitoring through either a drug patch or the UA hotline, GPS supervision beginning with employment-only movement, intensive outpatient treatment, and continued compliance with all probation conditions. Simons was also ordered to provide a new residence within 72 hours and reminded that any future violation could result in another motion to revoke probation. Before concluding the hearing, Judge Boyd warned that any failure to comply with probation could place Simons at risk of facing up to 10 years in prison. With that warning, the court gave him another opportunity to remain in the community under strict supervision while expecting full compliance with every condition moving forward.